It's time to find a seat and we'll get the show on the road. Ooh, everyone got serious. This mic is really high. Wish I... Where's Jacob? Is Jacob in the house? Is Jacob Darner in the house? Much better. Jacob Darner. And we're just waiting for a few more people and then we'll begin. Give you my cue. How many people are having a good time already? How many people consider themselves creatives, artists, culture bearers? Make noise. How many people here support the arts and are fierce arts advocates? This is better than the Lions game tonight. And when the lights go down, we'll begin. So, good evening. Welcome to the 26th Annual City Art Awards. My name is Tina Morin. I'm the Arts and Culture Manager for the City of Marquette. And tonight we are here to honor the people who have made a positive impact on our city through arts and culture. These arts advocates, artists, culture bearers, talent, dedication, and hard work make this a vibrant city to live in. The city of Marquette understands this, and we know that this city is not Marquette without you. I made that up today. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to the Honorable City Mayor, Cody Mayer.
Good evening, everyone. Loving the energy and enthusiasm in this room. It's fantastic. You know, when people think of Marquette, there's a lot of different things I think that come to mind. You know, our beautiful lakeshore, our vibrant downtown, up-and-coming tech industry. But I think I can echo the same words that you said you just made up. And that Marquette truly is an arts community. We are the arts community of the Upper Peninsula. I can say that, it's my city. And it is a true privilege and honor to welcome you all here tonight. And I like to keep things short and sweet, so let's get on to see the talent and quit hearing from the politician.
It's not the Oscars. So, we have seen incredible growth in the last 10 years, and much of this is in the arts and culture sector. Since COVID, there has been a momentum and literal blossoming of Marquette's arts and culture scene that I haven't experienced in my 19 years living here. Our festivals, post-COVID, are stronger than ever. Our gallery scene continues to grow and welcome new storefronts like Joe Gracie's Contemporary Art Gallery. Our theater scene welcomes 2 new directors from the same organization, Superior Arts Youth Theater, Becky Helt and Sarah Parks. We have a budding tech art community, Fresh Coast Light Lab, lasers on the Ordoc. New culinary artists opening businesses, a shout out to Paul Farley of Elixir on 3rd. And new fashion boutiques featuring artisans, The Cove. In fact, I attained my fabulous outfit tonight from The Cove from Jordan. These earrings are from Ona May Crafts, and this is made from Time Again by Loretta. So attainable fashion is available in downtown Marquette. But the arts and culture sector is also bringing people here, and really quality people. New residents planting roots and investing in creative space, like Ivor Johnson and his family, turning the former Carpenter's Millwright building on the south side into artist studios. Give them a round of applause. And the new city public art projects, including the first sculptural commission by an Indigenous maker, Jason Quigno, the 7th grandfather teachings. All of this in a difficult economy, all of this in a world that feels really hard in the last few weeks, especially cruel and even really hopeless. Yet somehow in our little corner of the world, the arts and culture community continues to grow. And that's not an accident. Everyone in this room, especially, I'm preaching to the choir, knows that arts and culture brings community together. It builds community, it strengthens us, and we need it now more than ever. But arts is also an economic driver, and it's deeply woven into the fabric of this community. At a macro level, the state understands this and is investing in arts and culture. When the state of Michigan invests $1.2 million in a City of Marquette arts and culture project, you know we're doing something right. The city's DNR Spark and MEDC RAP grant will revitalize the former chamber in Father Marquette Lions Park and the site of the very first Art on the Rocks into a vibrant community cultural center and 4-season cultural trailhead. As we have just begun as staff to wrap our minds around the potential of this historic project and this historic hillside, we're looking forward to engaging all of you. This is a community project. And this funding is only possible because we have a very supportive city commission, we have a supportive city manager and community services director. And we also receive these grants because we received crucial grant assistance from Superior Watershed Partnership for over 25 years, has embraced the visual and performing and literary arts as a platform to bring attention to the environment. So to all those, let's give them a big round of applause. And yet all of our successes are connected, everyone in this room, right? It's our daily work that nets us these large steps forward and ultimately growth. So let's celebrate tonight in our moment, in our corner of the world, these amazing people that make Marquette, Marquette.
Probably don't need the stool. Hello and good evening to you all. It truly warms my heart on such a crisp fall day to see so many impassioned faces gathered here together to share in the honor of celebrating all of the gifted creatives and warm-hearted artistic community that we are so blessed to have here in Marquette. Personally, I am incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to begin these congratulations by presenting the Visual Artist Award to my dear friend and neighbor, Stella Larkin. have been a better name given to such a vibrant soul that stands in stark contrast to the often gray realities of life? If you are acquainted with Stella, you can testify that her warm glow and gentle demeanor hallmark her character and draw people towards her. This quality is reflected at the core of her art, an ability that is spun into thread and woven into each of her creations. With her roots grounded in the fiber arts at our local university and heart ingrained with the wilderness of this land, Stella has harnessed her imagination and creativity to branch out into the community and utilize those connections to educate, inspire, and bring people together. To try and encapsulate everything about this incredible woman and her work into a less than 2-minute speech is impossible. I'll just tell you that right now. So I'm not going to get into the numerous accolades Stella has acquired over her career or the multiple environmental and community projects she's championed that positioned her as an ideal candidate for this award. Instead, all I'll say is this: thank you. Thank you to this community for recognizing and cherishing the incredible talent of converting simple found objects into glistening collages that celebrate the organic motifs of this land. Thank you for awarding such an honor to someone who has never strived for individual recognition, but rather finds joy and purpose in tacking down hundreds of individual bottle caps to form a recycled sequined masterpiece, or lacing together mobiles of driftwood for little ones to gaze at as they grow with an awareness and appreciation of nature's simple beauty. And finally, thank you to Stella. Thank you for inspiring the next generation to rid Lake Superior of plastic pollution. Thank you for teaching us that anything can be useful, and for being the perspective-shifting, beauty-revealing creatrix that you are. I wish you the best as you continue on your journey, and offer my sincere congratulations on being the City of Marquette's 2023 Visual Artist of the Year.
I'm rendered speechless. I'm in shock and I'm totally stunned by this incredible honor. I had to jump in the lake today to kind of snap out of it and find out if it's real. But I'm so incredibly grateful. Like Tina said, that the Marquette isn't Marquette without the people of Marquette, but I feel like I'm not who I am without the community of Marquette. I've been so lucky with so many friends and so many circles of families of friends in this town. I've lived here for 43 years, and I've just always felt so supported and easily integrated and accepted, and I don't know, it's just so easy to be here, and I feel really lucky, and thank you. And thank you for everyone, and thank you for Spec, my husband, for supporting me through all of my crazy ideas and helping me follow through till the end, and for Cynthia Cote, my personal arts advocate, who keeps me going all the time in art, and to Superior Watershed for always keeping me connected to important work, honoring and protecting Lake Superior, and yeah, I'm so grateful, and thank you everybody, and Maddie, thank you for that. And anyway, I'm totally humbled and grateful. Thank you.
cover the short person assistant. Good evening, my name is Andrea Ingmeyer, and I'm the Library Director at Peter White Public Library. It is my distinct honor to introduce the 2023 Writer of the Year, Marty Acketts. When asked to write a 2-minute or less introduction, my first thought was, well, that's not nearly enough time, but I'll do my best. Marty has been named the UP Poet Laureate not once, but twice so far. Now serves on the UP Poet Laureate Foundation. He has been a contingent professor in the English department at Northern Michigan University for over 30 years. Marty is highly involved in the Marquette Poets Circle, and closest to my heart, Marty is the programming coordinator at Peter White Public Library. I could go on about Marty's community involvement, his unwavering support of writers and literature, something that becomes more important all the time. But we are here to celebrate Marty, the writer, the poet, the book nerd. Marty's work has appeared in many journals, anthologies, 2 spoken word albums, and a book-length collection titled The Mysteries of the Rosary. Marty's writing is raw, romantic, and intimate. His work reflects on faith and paints vivid pictures of life in the UP. His words fill hearts with joy, grief, and hope. You can feel the warm kiss of summer sun, hear the cricket song, smell the dank, mossy woods, and wonder, would Bigfoot actually take his wife to Mount Rushmore on their honeymoon? One thing is certain, Marty's writing will leave you with more questions than answers, as all good writing should. Please join me in honoring Marty Acketts, Writer of the Year.
I gotta make sure I grab the right one when I leave. Well, as a poet, I came prepared with words, so here we go. My story begins on a farm in downstate Michigan, where my father skated through manure, fed chickens, vowed he wouldn't spend the rest of his life pitching hay. And in a house not far from the St. Clair River and the auto factories of Detroit, where my 6-year-old mother spoon-fed potato soup to her father, dying of stomach cancer. Of course, beginnings aren't really beginnings. I stand here tonight on the shoulders of a whole clan of greats, great-greats, great-great-greats, who looked across the Atlantic and saw something better, a life of promise and houses, villages, cities, towns built on stolen lands on the backs of stolen people. I am a plumber's son from a plumber's family. In my 5+ decades of breath, I have carried that label as honorific, as badge to my working class roots, the hard as cement hands of my father, brothers, and sisters. I'm a plumber's son told by my 2 mentors, Doctors Raymond Ventry and Ron Johnson, that I needed to study and write, needed to cast my net further and further out where shadows of whales swim. I'm a plumber's son who one afternoon in the office of his Cajun conjurer, writer, teacher, friend, Dr. Beverly Mathern, heard her make this pronouncement like an 11th commandment. You are a poet. I'm a plumber's son surrounded by a multitude of shades, people breathing and breathed, who have held my hand, guided me like Virgil through the circles of this poetic life. Helen Haskell Ramin, comet of joy, who still burns bright in so many of heaven's hearts. Janine Pergrin Rastel, for teaching me to laugh loud and long and hard in order to keep darkness at bay. So many names, Biji, Gayla, Ronnie, Christine, Rosalie, Rosalind, Lynn, Gail, Esther, Milt, that to say them all would take an encyclopedia, a Wikipedia of time. I'm a plumber's son who bows before the great gardeners of art in this city on Superior, Tina, Amelia, and Tristan. I'm a plumber's son blessed by a partner who has never asked me to be anything but a poet. By a son and daughter who have been served syllables and words for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and never wanted peanut butter and jelly instead. I'm a plumber's son whose plumber father, 6 months before he became a moment in memory, came to a poetry reading and introduced himself to a stranger thusly: I am the poet's father. I am a plumber's son, now reduced to just 2 syllables, 2 bites of air, 2 breaths. Thank you.
Man, that thing's gonna be tossed around all night. Okay. Wow. Oh, man, it really is lovely to see everyone here tonight. Thank you, everyone, again, for being here tonight to celebrate all the creatives that make this community what it is. For me tonight, it is a tremendous pleasure and a deep admiration that I stand before you to present the Arts Business Award to none other than Hot Plate, a business here in downtown and actually in this very building right below our feet. This is a business that has been a staple in this community for over 2 decades. From its founding in 2002 by Sue Kensington, to the passing of the torch to Melissa Sprouse in 2018. And till this day, she holds that torch. The mission of Hot Plate has always been to create a relaxed and fun atmosphere where everyone feels comfortable being an artist. Even those who, like myself, feel like they may be a bit creatively challenged. This level of accessibility in the arts I find to be paramount to growing and shaping the next generation of creatives. This achievement has been brought beyond their brick and mortar location through even the participation of local events. It hasn't stopped at their location. I have had the privilege, both being an employee of the downtown, but also an events coordinator in the community. I have seen what this business has been able to provide for this community outside of their own location. It is something that I don't often see and have great admiration for. It's a business like Hot Plate that plays a pivotal role in shaping our cultural landscape. This award tonight is not just about recognizing their dedication to the arts, but celebrating their invaluable contribution to the nurturing of creating a creative soul in our community. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Hot Plate for their remarkable achievements and their enduring contribution to the arts right here at Marquette. Melissa Sprouse, everybody.
No, it's fine. I'll be fine. Okay. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to follow Marty because, seriously, put Marty before me. That was so mean. But it is an incredible honor to accept the Arts Business Award today on behalf of Hot Plate, to be recognized in the midst of all of these other incredible talents is humbling and inspiring, and it reminds me of how lucky I am to be part of this business and part of the arts community as a whole, so thank you. Kind of like what Marty was talking about, but with less words of my own. Newton said, if I have seen further, it is because I am standing on the shoulders of giants. And that sticks with me because I'm up here just as a small part of what Hot Plate is. We have so many giants to thank for it. We've got friends and family, customers who've become friends. Too many to name individually, but they should know that they're loved and appreciated. There are 4 groups that I do have to name specifically. 21 years ago, Sue Kensington had a vision of a pottery studio and ran Hot Plate with determination and creativity, and I'm so grateful that she entrusted me with her baby. Joy Bender Hadley was able to remind me that I was an artist at a time where I had lost myself in motherhood, so I really appreciate that support. Her support helped me actually have the confidence to purchase Hot Plate, so you're welcome. Our staff, the amazing Hot Plate babes that I cannot see, but there's 2 of them back there. We've had wonderful Hot Plate babes throughout the years, and our current crew is no exception, especially our studio manager, Justine. Thank you all for being there and offering your unique gifts and talents and keeping me focused. Thanks to my husband for not murdering me for moving our studio a bajillion times and calling me crazy when we decided to build a business while we were in our 3rd trimester of pregnancy. But like you guys were talking about, our mission is to create a relaxed and fun atmosphere, whether people consider themselves artists or not. And I think that's super important. I think that our role in the community is to be that bridge between novice and expert, to help people find their creative fire and to help the creatively challenged find their expressive side. Hot Plate started with Dreams and Drive, and we've endured through so much, through many challenges because of that simple combination, and probably a little sisu. But I really do believe that everyone can create art, even people who think they can't. I feel like Hot Plate is a great place, and I'm so honored that we are still here and that you are entrusting us with your creative endeavors. We're committed to continuing those efforts and providing that inclusive art space in Marquette and beyond, to fostering creativity and collaboration. And so thank you again, especially to the hardworking staff at the Arts and Culture Center. Thanks to Amelia for not revoking my award for being missing several deadlines. Thank you. And a special thanks to the anonymous nominator for thinking of us. We appreciate that you see our dedication and passion and the ways in which we contribute to the art scene. So, thank you.
Of course, it's like a heavy wooden UP-made stool. So we've got 3 down, we got quite a bit more to go. And before I introduce Marty once again for his poetry reading, I want to thank tonight's sponsor. There's a lot of public-private partnerships that make these types of things happen. And I take a moment to express our deep gratitude to our partner and sponsor for tonight's awards, to Innovate Marquette Smart Zone. Their unwavering belief in the arts as a vital part of our community ecosystem has been instrumental in making this event possible, and they understand that art and innovation go hand in hand. Innovate Marquette truly believes in the work that our Office of Arts and Culture does to grow an empowered arts and culture community, as well as the compounding effect that it has on our city's quality of life and our economic potential. Innovate Marquette's commitment to partner across sectors and encourage a holistic approach to economic development is very commendable. We're excited to call them partners, and not just tonight, but year-round. Thank you to Innovate Marquette. And with that, tonight we did commission Marty Acketts to write a poem, especially for tonight's awards.
Thank you, Tina. Growth Triptych. 1, the art of growth. A coworker carries her granddaughter around the office, showing off her dark curls and serious eyes. I'm amazed how much the child has grown. Size her up like a blue ribbon squash. The last time I saw her, she fit into the fold of my arm, a mitten of sleep. Now, in this thick June, she is all height and weight, a moving field of sprout and fruit. My coworker knows the art of growth, the moisture and heat it needs, the cycles of sowing and reaping. With her daughter, she kneads manure into black earth, thick with cow smell, watches her granddaughter plow dirt with her fingers. I wonder if she is ever astonished by the size of her roses, the yellow of her daylilies. I wonder if she ever listens to her garden at night, the way I used to listen to my daughter stretch and grow in the dark. 2, in the garden. I can put my fist in the hole in my sister's flank, see rib white against slick muscle. When she sleeps, her body cries for healthy blood and skin and scar. I sit beside her hospital bed, listen to her breaths, wonder if she dreams of dog bites, sharp glass, the thick kiss of a dead love. The man down the hall moans Clara in the dark, a 2-syllable prayer for deep winter, pine cones, cool fingers on his naked back. My sister's hand flutters on the sheet. I touch her wrist, trace the blue veins under the skin. Her face smooths like a snowdrift, and I see the pulse leap in her temple, nostrils black with air, eyes vagrant beneath their lids. Her wound has not healed for 2 years, and I joke she has stigmata, like Padre Pio, beg her to touch my head, bless me. She laughs, crosses the air. When the priest visits her, my sister says, I feel like someone forgot to bury me. He anoints her forehead, hands, and feet. During her next dressing change, my sister grips the rails of the bed, bites her lip until it bruises, splits. The nurse examines the discharge, smells the wound for infection, then leaves. My sister cradles her stomach, as if afraid her heart may spill onto the floor. Pio's wounds smelled of violets, the petals of his fingers raising full moon hosts to heaven during Mass, roses blooming on the snow of his bandages. He bled all day, enough to fill a chalice to its golden lip. For 5 decades, he nursed the stigmata like fragile orchids rooted in his body's soil. At night, in his cell, he stripped his dressings, allowed his suffering to breathe the dark air, nerve endings sparking in his ragged skin like fireflies in tall grass. In the few hours he slept, his body opened, unfurled the deep ovule of his pain until the floor, walls, ceiling blossomed with his bruised fragrance. Tonight, my sister rests. The ivy fills her the way rain fills a summer garden. She holds her side, blooms in her bed, a fresh and open miracle. 3, Genesis. In 7 days, what can I create? If I open my lips, can I speak something to life, a charm of hummingbirds, flood of dolphins, riot of Queen Anne's lace in an August culvert? If I say, let there be poem, will green shoots press through soil, rise against the soles of my feet, stretch vermilion toward sun and cloud and blue? petals singing thanks to the wild, wild universe. Did you ever think God has been revising us since he first scribbled our names in the fields of his journal? Maybe God is Walt Whitman, adding, subtracting, hoeing, watering, pruning, harvesting. Maybe Eden is the borning breath my daughter suckled, or the last breath my sister held in her lungs. Maybe we're all apples, just waiting to be plucked and eaten by someone who wants to taste how sweet this world really is.
Not too far. That was beautiful, Marty. Way to make me much more emotional than I already am. I'm Katrina Keogh, and I'm very proud to be up here with my siblings to present our Educator of the Year to Jean Bertram. And I'm going to go ahead and do some hard bragging for a man who has not sought to be in the limelight and has never nominated himself for any accolades or honors like this one, but he is deserving of it all. And I'm so proud to be standing here with my siblings to share how Jean Bertram has always been the infinite student, teacher, and mentor of our education. What I think students and educators alike have admired most is his ability to unwaveringly see the world through an artist's lens. And if you're so lucky to be by his side, which we have, he will undoubtedly help you see it too, in the clouds, in a passage in a book, in the way that the leaves fall on the ground, or how the waves meet each other on Lake Superior. Students spanning over 40 years might refer to him as Mr. Bertram, sorry, Dad, Mr. Beaker, Mr. Burt's, Gino, Coach, and the ORDOC guy. Thousands of students have been mentored and inspired through nature, beauty, warmth, cold, and the people around them. These students include those of Grand Rapids Mobile Art Classroom, Chicago Institute of Art, SWAM, or the Sheltered Workshop Elder Marquette, UP Special Arts Show, Negaunee Middle School and High School, the Huron Mountain Club, Peter White Public Library, and his own Bertram Seaside Studio. And teaching at local events including Art Week, of which he was the featured artist of 2023, and the Hiawatha Music Festival. But of all the roles he's played and the masterpieces he's created, including us, over those 5+ decades as an educator and a multimedia artist, we are most proud to call him Dad.
So they say a lot of things skip a generation for some of our kids. For me, I really thought that was true when it came to creative, like impressive paintings like my dad. I did cartoons, it's pretty good with stick figures. But the thing about an educator like my dad is that he finds a way to connect to his students, and he saw my ability to play music ahead of all other things, and also developed a way for me to think differently about the things in front of me. The ability to have an open mind and see the beauty outside of the box is both utilized and underappreciated these days. But for me, it helped me through the most difficult times in my life, for which I've had many. Even in a career like firefighting, you need to be creative, and this was taking heart and finding solutions and being able to adapt to be able to, in this case, try to help save lives. All these things now he's passing down to my daughter, and she's taking those things very much to heart. So in short, I love you, Dad. Congratulations.
My dad has always been my #1 fan in anything I did, especially in the arts, was singing and dance. And that wasn't just the dad in him, but it was the teacher in him. His students would tell me in high school when they saw me I was Mr. Bertram's daughter. They never really cared for art until they had my dad as a teacher, and some even pursued careers as artists. His impact on his community continued after his teaching career at Negaunee Public Schools, and he continues to teach all ages and all skill levels from his home studio and to the rest of the public in support of events like Art Week. His work not only reflects the history of this town and the Great Lakes, but captures people and moments and is something that anybody could relate to. He truly instills the artist in all of us. Where one may see ugly, he can create beauty. Where one may not accept something, he can create understanding. When one could not believe in themselves, he did. We are so lucky to have you not only as a father, but as our teacher in all things in life. So thank you, Dad, and congratulations.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Sorry, wrong place. I started in the Marquette area as a youth, and then we came back. And I knew right away that Marquette's a unique place. I always thought of it as a small version of San Francisco on the bay. I spent a lot of time there. But first of all, and most importantly, I'd like to thank Tina Morin and Kristen Luma. Oh my gosh, Kristen, you've done so many things to help the arts in this community and myself. And Amelia Pruitt too, with all you've done to put this together, my gosh. I know how that goes, and I'll tell you right now, putting on an art show is difficult. It's very difficult, especially trying to get everything straight. And I'd like to thank the Marquette Arts and Culture Center for letting me do what I love to do best, which is teaching. I've taught for a total of 34 years, I think, or more. And I enjoy it quite a bit. I still enjoy it. I teach out of my studio in Lake Superior as well, and we've had a lot of good times doing that. But the senior program here in Marquette has been, wow, they're wonderful students. They're eager to learn. Not necessarily like the middle school kids that I taught. They have their issues and whatever, but it's a whole different game when it comes to teaching with the seniors. I love it. So I'd like to thank all those seniors as well that come to the Art Center to learn and to have fun. Mostly to have fun. We have a great time there. And I'd like to thank Northern too for opening its doors to the youth artists of the public schools and their art exhibits that they have there every year. But most of all, I'd like to thank my wife and kids for growing up better than I thought I could teach them to grow up. So, but they taught me a few things as well. In the process of me teaching them how to learn, there's the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain, and I promoted that whole idea for a long, long time. So they're all musicians in their own right now, and they played in the past with some very famous musicians. We're part of the Hiawatha Music Co-op. Sue, my wife, started it, and I saw that in her, and I said, she's the one. So I loved playing music as well, and I taught that as well, but I'd like to thank my mom and dad for having the wherewithal to keep me from going in the service and instead servicing into the art education aspect of my life, and it was quite a good thing. I wouldn't be here otherwise. I'd like to thank the Grand Rapids Art Museum, which was my first real teaching experience, and all the other opportunities I've had to teach art. Rudyard Public Schools, Sault Ste. Marie Public Schools, Area 1 Special Olympics, coaching the opportunity and serve as area coordinator for them. And then I learned, gee whiz, you know, everybody has a chance to learn in their own way. So let's let them learn what that way is so that they can learn better. And so I kind of taught people how to learn. And these are an example of that. Thank you very much.
I have the very special honor of introducing this year's award for Youth Visual Artist. I've had the opportunity to get to know Leo Barch over the last few years as his high school art teacher at Marquette Senior High School. I found that there are a lot of different ways that an art student can be amazing. An amazing art student might be particularly curious, perhaps incredibly patient, or exceptionally good at working in a particular media. They might have a big heart, being kind and encouraging to their peers. They might make work that is personal, edgy, or playful, and especially work that is deeply sincere. And maybe they develop a style that is truly their own, while retaining the humility and courage to try new things in new ways. The wisdom to know that failure is essential to learning, or the insistence that when we are presented with boxes, and life is full of them, that we are obligated to investigate and question those boxes, to stretch them, to think outside of them, or even to reject them with intention, to dream that the world can be made better. An amazing art student might be service-oriented, or have the determination and savvy to display and sell their work, to plant both feet firmly in the local art community, knowing that despite their youth, they have something big to offer. They might not just inspire their peers, but even become a friend and supporter for their mentors and teachers. Leo Barch is all of these things and more. I once assigned a collage project with simple parameters. Make an image of a dog. Leo's strong preference for cats led him to ask to make a cat instead. And when I didn't bend, he proceeded to make a very nice dog collage out of special paper. Paper that was printed all over with tiny little pictures of cats. You can't think outside the box without the box. Leo revels not just in creative artistic challenges, but also in questions about the boxes themselves, in art and also in life. Working with young artists like Leo is inspiring. Leo has quite a list of artistic achievements. He has participated in the Chocolate Bayou Art Walk. He displayed his work as a teen guest artist at 0 Degrees. He completed a mural for the Peter White Public Library's summer reading program. He won second place at the countywide high school art show this year for his digital comic on censorship. He was selected as one of a handful of students for the inaugural Artists in Excellence program, collaborating on the Power Mural at Birchview Elementary in Ishpeming. And as a result of the impressions Leo has made in the community, he was hired to assist the Arts and Culture Center with putting on Art Week, and was hired as an assistant muralist to Hannah Milkey on the Marquette mural on the corner of 3rd and Washington. Leo is currently a student at Northern Michigan University and is pursuing a degree in art education. Join me in congratulating this year's Youth Visual Artist, Leo Barch.
To receive this award tonight, and if I could just say a few words, that would make me a better public speaker, so thank you.
Strong. That's very nice. Hello, everybody. I am Jamie Weeder. I am the Artistic Director of Upper Peninsula Shakespeare Festival, and I'm also the chair of the City Arts and Culture Advisory Committee. I'm going to pull up my notes here real quickly. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong note. All right. It is my pleasure tonight to announce this year's Arts Volunteer Award. Now, 99% of arts organizations, as I'm sure you all know, is volunteer-based. Can I get a little audience participation here? Can I get a raise of hands for whoever's been on a board for an arts organization? Everybody, keep them up. Real proud, okay? Now, everyone take a look at whose hands are down, and now you know who you can recruit. Okay? All right. Very good. Thank you for that little experiment. I can't see anything from up here, by the way, so I hope people took notes. Our outstanding arts volunteer is Skylar Tolliva. Did I say that right? I was saying it very musically earlier, and I don't want to say it wrong. I just met Skylar, so I met Skylar a couple of weeks ago because we are going to be teaching artists together, and I'm very excited to get to know her better, but I have a little something here. Skylar has been dancing since she could walk and teaching since she was 14. She studied at NMU, and in 2021, under Kim Black, the 2020 recipient of the Dance Teacher of the Year Award, it was there she learned more about teaching young ones and differently abled children in the Time to Shine integrative dance class. Skylar founded Shooting Stars, a free and volunteer-based program for children with intellectual and physical disabilities. The inclusive dance class gives children with disabilities the opportunity to learn and explore movement in a sensory-friendly space as a form of self-expression. She has said, "I was very shy growing up, and dance was my way of expressing words through movement. Dancing has been an influential part of my life and has helped me gain confidence through the artistic aspects of the art form. I hope to share with the UP that everyone deserves a chance to dance. Northern Sky provides children a safe space where they are free to express themselves and grow up with confidence, just like what dance has done for me as a child." So everybody congratulate Skylar. Welcome her on stage.
I am honored to be here and to be recognized by the community for something I'm so passionate about. Thank you, Marquette Arts and Culture Center, for allowing this event to be possible and for promoting inclusion of the arts in the Marquette community. I have been in the Marquette dance community since the age of 3, and I never thought dance would have such a life-changing impact on my life. Dance was therapy for me. As a very shy child, dance allowed me to express myself through movement, healed my anxiety, increased my self-confidence, taught me how to work hard, and I'm now blessed to be able to share my passion for young children and to provide a safe space for them to grow with dance class. Tonight I'm grateful to be the Arts Volunteer of the Year for my contributions to Shooting Stars Adaptive Dance and Blueberry Dance Festival. Shooting Stars Adaptive Dance program began in 2019 after learning I loved working with individuals with disabilities. And Shooting Stars Adaptive Dance is a free volunteer-based dance class for children with physical or intellectual disabilities. Shooting Stars provides students a safe space to express themselves, increase gross motor skills, and self-confidence. It builds their social skills and all through creative movement and structured dance. We started with 1 student in 2019 and currently have 13 students and still growing. I am blessed to be able to share my passion for those that may not normally have the opportunity to dance. Although I'm this year's Volunteer of the Year face, there are many people that have supported me and helped me get to where I am today. Thank you, Jana Benedict, for being my first dance teacher and for allowing New Attitudes to be my safe space growing up. Thank you, Camilla Menge, for giving many dance teaching opportunities to me, such as Nutcracker and Blueberry Dance Festival. Thank you to my family, my mom, dad, sisters, Kylie and Alexis, and my partner, Connor, for always supporting and loving me. Thank you to all my Shooting Stars volunteers, and thank you, Marquette Arts and Culture Center, for providing a space for Shooting Stars Adaptive Dance and for making this event possible. I feel honored to be awarded the Arts Volunteer of the Year and thankful to have the opportunity to share my passion with others. Thank you.
Sorry, you guys get me again. Dr. Peter Felsman could not be here tonight, so I have the pleasure of announcing our Youth Award of the Year. I always wondered if it was the Outstanding Youth Award or if it was a yearly thing, so I wasn't sure. I think it's both. You know, Outstanding Youth Award Winner of the Year. That sounds good. It's a mouthful, but I'll take it. And he wrote up a little something that I'm going to read for you guys today. And the winner of this award for this year is Lane Parks. As a kid, artists can feel distant. The name on a page, the face on a screen. But when you see another kid at your own school performing at a high level, that inspires art making in an intimate way. This year's Youth Performing Artist Award goes to a young woman who has been showing her peers that youth can perform at a high level since at least 10 years ago when she performed in an NMU production of Les Mis. Since then, now a high school senior, she's performed in over 20 local productions, most recently in Superior Arts Youth Theater's production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and a student-led production of Hamlet, which was fantastic, by the way. She has also been part of the orchestra since 6th grade, choir since her sophomore year. She's received 1 ratings for voice and viola in solo and ensemble categories. It's not easy. And has performed with All-State Choir, an All-State Honors Choir with multiple voice groups selected to perform at the state level and the state festival. Lane, on behalf of the City of Marquette, thanks for all your contributions to youth performing arts, and congratulations.
Thank you. I'm honored to be receiving this award. Music is my passion. Performing has made me who I am and helped me to spread my wings. I'm incredibly fortunate to live in this wonderful community whose love of the arts has supported and nurtured my passions. I wouldn't be where I am today without the incredible teachers and supporters who always believed in me. I'd especially like to thank Mrs. G, Mr. Marta, Jolena, and my family for helping me to grow as a musician and a person. I believe that art is magical. There's something unexplainable about the feeling of a performance. It's like a bubble is created and you're sharing something intangible but vitally important. Art leaves an impact on people, and I am so honored to know that I've made even a little bit of an impact on this community. So thank you, Marquette, for hearing my voice and sharing the music with me.
No glasses, no script. Okay. Done with that. This is the mellow time of the evening. You'll notice the last part of the evening recently was students, educators educating our youth. And I know it sounds trite, but it's true that youth, they're our future. You're our future. And what's so wonderful about living in Marquette, there's this really intergenerational thing that happens where I have friends, I can call my friends, that are 17, 18. They're teaching me as much as I'm learning from them. And I think we heard that from the educators that were here tonight, how important it is to teach youth. We heard it from the kids. And youth are our future. If we're gonna have placemakers, if Marquette is gonna retain talent and keep our talent here, we need to make sure that we mentor and teach these youth. One of the programs that the city has started with high school art teachers from Gwynn, Negaunee, Ishpeming, and Marquette is Artists in Excellence. 2 years, funded by Upper Peninsula Health Plan. This is our second year. We take the 5 best art students from those schools because there's not as much extracurricular as there is for performing arts. And you saw Leo Barch, what he was able to obtain, some of the successes he had during that program. And we have some of those students this year from that program. I'd like them to stand up and for us to cheer for the second school graduating class. We haven't graduated yet, but the second group of Artists in Excellence students. Please stand up. Give them a round of applause. These are our future designers, our artists, our city planners, our mayors, our teachers, the people that are involved, and it's our responsibility to mentor them. This cross-district program brings these students into many of the studios of the artists you've met tonight. And I'm so happy to call Leo my friend from that experience. And it's not just these the artists, it extends. So these are the makers, but we also need to raise the next generation of arts advocates. Recently this summer, we did a program called Art Week, and we had an artist in residence named Amber, who you'll meet tonight. And she built a cardboard sculpture, and the title was Our City Builds Us, We Build Our City. And I'm in my office one day in the lower level of the Peter White Public Library, and I hear this, someone's giving a tour. I'm like, is it a tour of the sculpture? They're giving a tour and they're telling these visitors to Marquette, this is who the artist is, this is where she came from, this is what the sculpture means. And I was like, I didn't know there was a tour. And I go out there and it's a 4th grader. And he's giving a tour. I said, does anyone have any questions? And he looks at me, I have it covered. I worked on the project, I know. And I'm like, I want to know you. And talk about art building community. So I met a very impressive young man named Mateo McNeely, who now is our youngest Arts and Culture Advisory Committee ex officio member. Please welcome to the stage, Mateo McNeely.
This is nerve-wracking for me. I'm not a very good public speaker.
Is this your first official?
Yeah. It's very exciting to have a new opportunity to get to work with so many amazing people. I have many ideas and many new opportunities to bring to the table. I hope to help and to show a new generation and to lift others, including my siblings who are crazy, and hopefully show other children, students, that anyone can do anything no matter your age. And the Superior Arts Youth Theater has had lots and lots of children perform in their shows, which I think shows a very good way of gratitude and showing the next generation. So ladies and gentlemen, now I present to you It's a Hard Knock Life, choreographed by my dear friend, Skylar.
How do you follow that? not. Hi everyone, I'm John Teichman. I'm a member of the Arts and Culture Committee. I'm also Assistant Director of the NMU Admissions Office. It's a privilege and a pleasure to introduce you to the performing artist for this year, Professor Patrick Booth. Professor Patrick is, let's recognize Patrick. So I got to know Patrick when he was wailing away on the saxophone at the Urdock Brewing Company, backing up the God Eaters. And then I got to see Patrick playing his saxophone on the ski hill at Marquette Mountain 2 years ago with the Tama Dance Company during our arts festival or induction ceremony out there. But he's been playing the saxophone for 26 years. He's passionate about outreach and social change. He's a member of the Earthwork Music organization and worked with Seth Bernard, working to make the world better through social change, music and dialogue, and the nonprofit called Title Track. He's also a professor of music at Northern Michigan University, directs the jazz band, jazz combos. He's a specialist at improvisation. We had a big conversation about improvisation and how important it is to know when to play and when not to play. So I learned something about that. He also teaches advanced music theory courses and general music courses at our university here in Marquette. But check this out, he also drives 100 miles north up to Michigan Tech University and teaches classes up in Houghton. So the guy's a machine. I mean, that's 200 miles round trip with a saxophone in a car. So he's a composer, an educator, he's based here. He holds degrees in classical saxophone and education from Central Michigan University, as well as a graduate degree in improvisation from the University of Michigan. He's performed with a whole bunch of people, but the two that really got my attention that he shared the stage with are Tom Bones Malone from the Blues Brothers Band from the movie, and Wayne Kramer of the MC5, Kick Out the Jams. He also has a new release that's available on Bandcamp, To Be a Child is to Be Free. He also has a daily stream on Instagram. You can subscribe to this email, and it's called Create Every Day. It also features his son a lot. He performs with tons of ensembles, many that more than I can mention. But there's this great quote, I think. He said, he always wanted to be a band director until he got into college and really started practicing, which is when he realized there was more to that instrument than he could have imagined, and his brain went wild. His mentor is Wadada Leo Smith, who said, the ability to seek possibilities, there is nothing more special than that. It's my pleasure to induct Patrick Booth tonight.
Let's get comfortable. Hang on. I am an improviser, so I wrote everything that I'm going to say here tonight. So you're welcome for that. Okay, it is an honor to be here today and accept this award as someone who has found themselves more at home coloring outside the lines and staying true to this zigzag path that we all find ourselves on. The community of Marquette has supported me and nurtured me for the past 8 years and continues to let me be me. There is something special and unique in a place that does that. We find ourselves at a pivotal turning point as artists and thinkers in our world and our community. Now we must become cultivators, collaborators, and growers. As our landscapes begin to change from lush green forests to concrete structures and multi-story parking lots, it is easy to lose sight of what has made and continues to make this community what it is. Cultivating a love for the creative aspects of art and sound in our ever-expanding population can lead to a blossom of output and community-driven action. Let's save our little town and help it grow into a destination for creativity and challenge. A destination for trying and collaborating. Let's foster our young people in and outside of school to express themselves creatively and freely. Let's be a destination for change and equality. And let's be a destination for all to try and not worry about their success. We cultivate, we create, and most of all, we love, support, accept, and have humility for those around us. And I save my thanks for last so I don't tear up too bad, but it's not gonna happen, so. Number one, I'm gonna go fast, you ready? Okay, my parents for a lifetime of support. That's all they're getting, sorry. My partner Emily for always saying, sure, I'd love to hear whatever it is you're working on, even if it is just to hear the difference between saxophone reed types and reed strengths. And to my son Ellery, whose boundless creativity and imagination gives me hope that we can continue to color outside of the lines. We can be beautiful and we can be loved. Thank you, Marquette.
Hello, good evening. I'm Dan Truckey, the director of the Beaumier UP Heritage Center in Northern. And it is a great honor that I'm here to present the award for Arts Advocate to Marge Sklar of Marquette. I moved back to Marquette in 2007 after many years away, and I've come to one conclusion about the city of Marquette. It's dance crazy. I don't know, per capita, there's more dance studios and places than anywhere I've ever seen. And Marge Sklar is a big part of the reason for that. Dance is factored prominently in Marge's life. Her favorite hobby took root in her hometown of Philadelphia when she learned folk dances connected to her heritage while growing up in an Italian neighborhood. And she later learned how other nations express their passion through movement by taking lessons at the International House of Philadelphia. I suppose you could say dance has followed me wherever I've gone, she said. I continued with international dancing while going to graduate school in Detroit and various teaching jobs in the city before coming to Marquette, and even served in the Peace Corps in Nigeria. Women danced outside their kitchens every night. It was their way of saying, the day is over, now let's have some fun. And I joined them when they did that. It was in Nigeria that Marge met her future husband and favorite dance partner, Bill. The couple shares their passion with others in various ways. They own the Dance Zone on Lincoln Avenue, where they offer lessons in styles ranging from square, contra to hula, Latin, swing, and ballroom dance. And they teach international folk dancing there, and also at the Presque Isle Pavilion. She earned her bachelor's degree at Rosemont College in Pennsylvania and master's at the University of Detroit in math and computer science. But she found out about a job at Northern. She said, I'd never lived outside a larger city or this far north and wasn't sure I'd like it. It took about 2 minutes to realize how beautiful it is and how nice the people are. It reminded me of the homey, caring Italian neighborhood I grew up in. Marge taught for 30 years at NMU and retired as an associate professor and associate dean of College of Business, and also taught ballroom international dance at NMU. She would encourage the students to perform and often act as their advisor when they would create new dance organizations on campus. She also assisted with getting the dance program started at Northern. And prior to retiring, she started the Dance Zone and hosted many of those NMU dance classes and organizations at her studio. She says, I'm honored to be part of Marquette's artistic community. I've experienced the greatest joy in performing and taking so many things that happen in this town. People tell me that I've touched so many lives, and I'm proud and humbled in hearing this. When I came to work at Northern in 2007, it wasn't long before I was introduced to Marge because the Beaumier Center was looking to host a folk festival on campus. Someone told me there was this amazing woman who taught folk dance classes and that she'd be the perfect person to lead dance instruction at the festival. So at the very first UP Folklife Festival in 2008, she did just that, leading dance instruction on everything from Finnish to Balkan dances. And this began a great relationship between myself and Marge, and we've worked together on many occasions over the next several years. But my favorite memories working with Marge were actually when I was teaching a class on UP folklore. Each time I taught it, I had one evening set aside for the students to learn traditional dance from the region. Much to their chagrin, the students were instructed to show up at the dance zone one evening. Most would walk in with much trepidation and even angst, only to leave 2 hours later with smiles on their faces and laughter in their throats. This is because Marge has a way of passing on her passion and love of dance and folk music to people that has kept these traditions going for many years in the UP and for many years to come. So please, let's honor Marge Sklar.
After all that he said, I don't think I have to say anything. I'm really honored. Thank you. It's well, it's a nice honor. I'm happy to be here, and well, I left my paper down there, but I don't want to read that. What I've been doing is having fun. I mean, period. That's it. I've just been having fun. People think it's great, and so do I. And I really thank you, and it's just wonderful. Thank you.
Well, hello and welcome this evening. I'm John Swenson. I'm the Director of Community Services for the City of Marquette. And Community Services is arts and culture, parks and recreation, and our senior center. So I'd like to take just a quick moment to thank Amelia, Tristan, and Tina for doing just a wonderful job. Let's give them a round of applause. What is art? What makes an artist? These are questions that are more common than you might think, with no right answer. It is my honor to present this year's Special Recognition Award to Aaron Peterson. Aaron Peterson has made a career dancing around these two questions and modestly believing that they do not apply to him or his work. I'm here to tell you that they do. In 2001, Aaron took a job at the Mining Journal, and in 2011 found his way into photography and film through his inspiration for capturing spectacular nature and beauty of the Marquette area and the Upper Peninsula. The speed of technology led him to lean heavily on film, and his works include, but are not limited to, Cold Rolled in 2014, a film about the birth of fat tire biking and the grooming systems that make it possible here in Marquette. The Michigan Ice Film, an ice climbing film in 2016 that exemplified the rare beauty and the amazing ice that we have here in the Upper Peninsula. Whack Jobs, a fat biking grooming film, a bunch of Trek videos for Trek, a lot of programming for Travel Marquette, fat biking, a film called Farley, ice climbing with fat bikes to get to the sites, which was amazing. A film called Snow Day, which really captured the first fat bikes for children and all throughout our Marquette trails. That was quite an amazing film. And many films for Pure Michigan. But last but not least, one of his more renowned films, 24 Leeches in 2020, which earned him multiple awards. This was a film about climate change and camping and canoeing, and featured his late son, who sadly passed in 2020. Aaron has co-founded the Fresh Coast Film Festival that celebrates the majestic shores of Lake Superior in all their beauty. The festival is in its 8th year and loved by the Marquette community and all who have attended. Most folks struggle to even put words to what makes the Upper Peninsula so special, but this artist has time and time again captured it and amazed us with his art. And he is tonight traveling to make his next work of art. So we're going to welcome Bugsy Saylor to the stage to receive the award for this year's Special Recognition Award, Aaron Peterson.
Good evening. I'm not Aaron, a little shorter, half as stylish. Aaron's not here. Aaron wishes he could be here. Fall for the season of autumn for a professional photographer, landscape photographer, lifestyle photographer is a busy season, and he's making the most of the autumn colors somewhere across the state of Michigan today. So we always wondered why, during the peak of his season, we also scheduled Fresh Coast Film Festival in the middle of October, which is also particularly busy for me. So it's an honor to be here on Aaron's behalf. I've always wanted to dress as him for Halloween, when I could have made use of that costume tonight as well. I didn't have time to grow a goatee, and the black-rimmed glasses were on back order. But from Travel Marquette to Pure Michigan, you have seen Aaron's work on billboards, TV commercials, magazines, and many other places. It often doesn't have his name on it. His work is often the background of what we may be looking at on the screen. And his work has been around in Marquette for a long time. It was 8 years ago that three of us, me, myself, Aaron Peterson, and Bill Thompson, sat around the bagel shop and dreamed up Fresh Coast Film Festival, now in its 8th year as an organization. And it's been an honor to work with Aaron, who has really taught me about the importance and the essence of storytelling, authenticity. And when we get together, we never talk about camera specs, photo resolution, or specs of outfitting a van. We always talk about the story and the authenticity. And that always comes first to any of the equipment and producing a beautiful visual. He's always done the hard things first. He's always been willing to do the hard things, if it's taking his van into the backwoods of the UP, or starting a festival that wasn't one day at one venue, but out of the gate we had 6 venues across 4 days, all operating at once. Aaron has never chosen the easy path for these projects, but he has chosen what's best. So it's an honor to accept this award on behalf of Aaron, and please continue supporting your local storytellers. Thank you.
So we're getting really towards the end of our evening. We only have two award winners left. We're going to hear from Patrick Booth, and while he sets up, we thought Fresh Coast Film Festival is next week. And Thursday night, FYI, it's free for the community, but I highly recommend you go. There is a lot of local filmmakers that are going to be showing their work. AIE students, I know that filmmaking and film was one of the top things you talked about. So this is a great opportunity. So while we're setting up, let's watch a sneak preview of Fresh Coast Film while Patrick is getting ready.
Hey everybody, let's give a round of applause to our host tonight. You know, it's very important to not only acknowledge and elevate the creators of culture in our community, but also create a welcoming space for new change agents so that they can enter and feel belonging in our community also. It's a visionary investment in our collective healthy future, and I'm really glad that we're all in this together. It takes a special energy beyond one's usual creative process, a special audacity or subversiveness to strike out with uncertainty in a new direction. It's a gamble, as all creative enterprise must be, because new directions may turn out to be something unanticipated. The innovation journey is almost always a journey of discovery. The Innovation Award recognizes Amber Dornwend for creating in her installation, We Make Our City Makes Us, an open-ended journey of discovery, a story that is incredibly resourceful of material and method, volumetric and architectonic, collaborative and experiential, and participatory, and in Amber's characteristic style, delightful, kind, and whimsical. Amber's a visual artist. Check out Amber's visual portfolio online. You'll be amazed. Congratulations, Amber.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate being appreciated. I first want to thank the City of Marquette for welcoming me. I just moved back to Marquette from Tokyo just last June, so it was really a feeling of being welcomed with open arms. And so the first group I want to thank is the Marquette Arts and Culture Center, Tina and Amelia and Tristan. They really helped me launch this art installation and center it in the library and bring it to life. I next want to thank my mom and dad, Jack and Connie Middleton, who raised me with creativity as the central focus of living a meaningful life. I want to thank my husband, Pete, for finding a lot of very special and rare cardboard for me. Around this time, I remember I was working on a project, and I needed all this yellow cardboard that came from orange boxes and pumpkin boxes, and he drove around our neighborhood on his bicycle and collected it so I could complete my project. I want to thank my daughters, Eleanor and Iris, who constantly inspire me. One of them made dinner this evening, and the other one made the skirt that she's wearing. I want to thank also my business partner, Elaine Clark, who's a partner with me in our LLC Happy Dust and co-founder of Knotwork Studio, Knotwork with a K. We're really excited to be working in the building in 1221 Division Street and bringing an artist collective to life there. I just want to say a few words about this project, We Make Our City Makes Us. I think some people think of art as decoration, and for me, art, it speaks to the process of discovering and understanding, and for me, art is a laboratory, and this sculpture was actually a way of trying to get to the answer of how we can live, how can we be creative, how we can connect to each other, how can we make meaning in our life. And a few years ago, I was working on a project in Italy, and I made a sculpture, and this woman came up to me and she asked me if she could go inside the sculpture. And I said, I'm really sorry, this sculpture you can't go inside it, it's just something that you can look at. And when she walked away, that was a really meaningful moment for me, and I realized that I really wanted to put people at the center of my art making, and that although I work with the material of cardboard, that people have become the most central focus of my work, and this installation was just a clear example of that. And I want to leave with an invitation to all of you of asking you, what do you think you could make for our city? Because I found that it will just come back to you in a million ways. So thank you so much.
See how good I do at staying on the podium. To just kind of grip here. For those of you who know me in class, this is going to be a rare feat. So yes, my name is Tracy Blossom. I'm the chair of the Marquette Public Art Commission. I'm also a faculty member for the School of Art and Design. So it is my great and genuine pleasure to introduce this award winner for Outstanding Arts Organization for the City of Marquette. If you've spent any time with the arts in Marquette, you've undoubtedly found yourself repeatedly in the museum. Once there, you've experienced the diverse work by local, regional, national, and international artists. Maybe you've been part of a guided tour, attended visiting artists, or panel talks, or participated in workshops. Your children or those of your neighbors may have been one of the nearly 2,000 young people who annually receive guided tours by the docents and staff and are brought there free of charge. Perhaps you've even seen your children's work in their galleries. In the process, you've been inspired by the breadth of voices that are featured and how they each make you see the world from a renewed or unexpected vantage point, expanding your horizons, understandings, or expectations. But this face of the museum is only one part of the proverbial picture. In public view and behind the scenes, it is the tireless work done by the museum staff, Emily Lonto, Dr. Sidney Saracen, and David Schmidt that make these things happen every single day. If you don't know them already, Emily is the museum's director and curator. In this role, she manages the museum's education programs, exhibitions, and administration, coordinating over 50 arts programs. She's significantly expanded the educational programs for K-12 schools, community and campus groups through her concerted outreach efforts. She's already done 15 tours this semester as it stands. She's served on numerous arts-related committees and boards at the state and local level. She's an active visual artist and has spent 13 years as an exceptional member of our faculty body for the School of Art and Design. Sidney is the collection curator and facilitates its education outreach efforts as well. A Marquette native, they are an art historian and archaeologist specializing in the art of the Bronze Age Aegean. Before returning to our area, Sidney was also an illustrator, librarian, designer, editorial assistant at the Instapat Academic Press, and an adjunct art history instructor at Drexel and Temple Universities. David is the museum's newest addition, joining their staff just last year. Through his career, he has worked as an art installer and preparator, including at the Oxbow School of Art, the Sullivan Galleries at the School of the Art Institute in Chicago, and the Kavi Gupta Gallery in Chicago. Most recently, he's been the lead preparator at the Conservation Center in Chicago. So right, I just laundry listed out a bunch of credentials. What's important is that these people could be anywhere, but they're here. They're here in our city doing remarkable work. Every day they leverage their passion for the arts and their wealth of expertise for our community. Through their seen and unseen efforts, they help us all to better understand, experience, and connect to the power that art can have in our lives. For those reasons and the others that my time limit really won't accommodate this evening, I personally, but on behalf of the city, want to thank each of you, Emily, Sydney, David, for your work. I see the work, literally, in the building, every single day, day in and day out. It is both valued and invaluable. It is essential. It is a gift of time, energy, resolve, insight, and advocacy for which I am, and I know our community is, unceasingly grateful.
So thank you all for being here tonight and for holding out to the last award. First of all, I'm so happy to live in a town with such a vibrant and supportive arts community. I'm really accepting this award on behalf of all of you who have contributed to the museum for more than 45 years. Whether you've shown up as a volunteer or as a viewer, whether you've participated in a talk or a workshop or a tour, or made a donation, or just showed up to work with an idea of how to make something better, like many of my colleagues. You are a part of who we are today, and you're a part of making the museum more vibrant, so thank you. I'm really filled with gratitude to work in this community and at NMU and in the arts. In such a small town, it's really rare that you get to do your sort of dream thing day after day. Being connected to the arts is really kind of a superpower. The arts provide beneficial and long-lasting effects, sort of better than a lot of medicine, probably. They help us hold on to memories and slippery experiences. They remind us of things we shouldn't forget. They help us expand our capacity for hope, and to have hope is to keep going. They connect us to others' experiences, and they help us reflect on our own, showing us it's okay to grieve, to love, to feel sorrow. They help us uncover knowledge and show us things are hard to put into words. They extend our experiences, connecting us to others, to other ideas, to other cultures, to questions we might not know that we have, and they help us remain sensitive, empathetic, and understanding. The arts heal and provide much needed beauty. Over the weekend, I received an email from a friend who's an Israeli artist. Her name is Orna Ben-Ami. She had a show at the museum a couple years ago. Orna makes work about refugees, about finding hope, and about commonalities. Her email said, "Dear Emily, these are terrible days in Israel, you probably know. Please cheer me up with some pictures. Tell me what the situation is now in your area regarding the colors on the trees, so that I'll be able to plan and fantasize about a trip there next year. Love, Orna." While it's easy to deprioritize art, it's essential we make it a priority. It's easy to feel helpless and hopeless, especially when we consider all the atrocities in the world. But it's important to remember the power of hope that a little light and beauty provides in times of darkness. Thank you all for doing your part to bring a little light into our community and into the world. Thank you.
There's nothing to say after Emily's words. They're so moving and they are so true. And we're all so lucky to be in this time and space together at this moment. Before we end our evening, I'd like to make a few thank yous because these types of events take some effort. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Marquette Innovate Smart Zone. I'd like to thank the Masonic staff in this building that's hosted arts and culture events for decades. Vic Holliday, our lighting designer. Nick Steffi, our sound and videographer and all-around great guy. Thank you for putting gaff tape on my vintage shoe when it fell apart. I'd like to thank the Arts and Culture support staff tonight, Artists in Excellence alumni Anna Rayhorn and Bella Ely, and Jacob Darner, local artist and creative that is always there to help. And we're behind the scenes working. We are here to support you, and I feel that our staff at the Office of Culture really recognizes that we work for you. We work for the artists that live in this community. You pay us through your tax dollars to work for you. And Amelia Pruitt and Tristan Luama are two of the most dedicated individuals I've ever met, and I'm so honored to work along with them. They did this entire night. Thank you. Finally, I'd like to thank the performers, our presenters, and our award winners. We are honored to live in a community with you, and we get so much from you. You inspire us every day. Thank you. Keep doing the hard work. We notice, it's recognized, and I hope tonight you felt that. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for all of you to be here tonight, and we'll see you next year.